Can you see me? Wave to me. I like when you wave back. Hey, Fred, you had sent me a message. Why don't we start with your message, buddy? Unmute and
Yeah,
share.
just yeah, I want to say a lot of Americans don't know this is Canadian Thanksgiving this weekend. So I want to say to all the Canadians, happy Thanksgiving, and it's almost as big a deal as your Thanksgiving when you have it. So we're having turkey and family get-togethers and that. So happy Thanksgiving to all the Canadians.
Happy Thanksgiving, guys. Enjoy.
Having some good family time.
So ours is coming up next month, I guess about 5, 6 weeks from now we do
Yeah.
ours. So anyway, happy Thanksgiving. Enjoy. All righty, we're going to get started. You probably either got or read the text that I sent that we sent out. We had spent, oh, it's hard to say this, 6 hours in training this week over the merger and the acquisition with Love Biome and the P84 product, and that was 5 hours too many for me. It was just like it's just too much. But anyway, we kind of got a little bit of short notice saying, if you remember, for the last couple weeks, the company was planning on doing like a boot camp training next week for 3 days, 2 hours each day to train on it, for everybody in the field. And I think they realized after having the captain club, so to speak, is what they were calling it, for 6 hours, that they didn't need 6 hours, and they decided that 2 hours on Monday evening would do it. And I can promise you that is enough. Okay, I promise you, 2 hours on Monday is more than enough because it gets a little repetitive, and it's not like we're rookies with activation. It's not like we're rookies with products and things like that. We're very everybody's well versed on this. So anyway, when they made the announcement that it was going to be Monday, October 13th, that was our Zoom, our launch Zoom. So we had to pivot quick and we just moved it to Tuesday. Okay, so the live opportunity will be Tuesday, but I let me go. I have some slides because I don't want to forget anything on you. So let me just pop the slides up. And April, anytime you want to chime in on anything, please just do it.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so anyway, Dallas just got more important this past week. And it was hard to believe it could get more important, but it just did. It's only 11 days away, but the only way to get the product this month is if you're in Dallas. Okay, otherwise it's going to be November 1st. So anyway, if you want to get it, and it's going to be limited. Again, I may repeat myself here, but you got to be in Dallas, and from what we hear, you're only going to be allowed to buy one. Um, I guess if it gets down to the end of the event in Dallas and there's still some that they didn't sell, they may allow you to buy another one. But that's kind of where we're at with that. So anyway, as I said, we had gotten that last minute, we had to call an audible. That's a football term. Um, and they decided to change the 3 day training this week to 1 day, and that is tomorrow night. You should have already seen it all over Facebook, but it's out there, the link. We can send it if you don't have it. So our opportunity Zoom, our live, is Tuesday night at 8:30 instead of tomorrow night at 8:30. And I know I was talking to Kenneth the other day, and April and I, we have a zillion people that are invited to that. We had a lot of things to send out when that got changed. But you know what? Things happen quick in this business, and you know, you sometimes you got to be able to pivot and just go with it. So You don't want to miss tomorrow night. I know it'll be recorded, but if there's any way to experience it live the way we did this past week, I'd recommend you do it. And I know 2 hours is a lot. I get it. 2 hours on Zoom is a lot, but the information and the questions that it will answer and the questions you've had in your mind, a lot of that will be addressed. So, April, you want to add anything to that?
Just, I'm sure you're going to mention it. I'll put it in the chat, the one that's going to go on tonight by other
Oh, Cheryl
consultants.
will do it. I told Cheryl to mention that later,
Okay.
so you can leave that to her later.
Okay.
Okay.
Cheryl, make sure you put it in the chat then.
Yeah, she'll put the link in there. Okay, so this is this week's schedule. So take a screenshot. And again, this is for us and our team. But so like I said, Monday, tomorrow night, it's 6 to 8 Mountain Eastern time. It's 8 to 10. A lot of us are on Eastern time. That's why I put that in there. So it's late. It's 2 hours beginning at 8 o'clock, but that's what it is. And then our Monday is now Tuesday, so our team opportunity Zoom is 8:30 on Wednesday. And I'll show you a slide on this. You'll be able to take a screenshot of it, but brand new consultants, anyone that you're talking to get involved in the business that's getting ready to enroll or wants to enroll, brand new consultants will be able to enroll with what is going to be called our Healthy Edge Pack, and that is the P84 and the Pro Tandem. And I'll show you a picture of that in a second. Something else that April and I were asked to do and agreed to do, and I'll show you a slide on that in a second, but Holly and Brian Heidfield have an Activate Academy training, and they coordinate this with the West Coast girls, the middle of the country. They do this every Saturday, and they've asked us to do the training this Saturday. So I'll give you the flyer on it, but April and I will be training for the Activated Academy with Holly Highfield hosting. So that's this coming Saturday. So that's the week. Okay. So you can screenshot this. They're calling the Healthy Edge Pack, and October 15th, which is Wednesday, I think, right? 13, 14. Yeah, it's Wednesday for new consultants only. So don't call and ask. Okay, it's for new consultants only. You are not new, and that means if you want it, go to Dallas, okay, and to get it. That's how you're going to get it before it comes out. And from what I hear, they're only going to have 2,000 units in Dallas, so that's why it's one per person. But it's great. It's going to be $250. It's going to be 200 points, and it includes the enrollment pack, the enrollment kit, the website and app and training and all that stuff that makes you a consultant. And then the Healthy Edge stack, without the enrollment pack, will be $200 and 160 points. So it will be available November 1st for all consultants and customers. Okay, but we're only at October 12th. So this is what is going on for the next 18, 19 days. Okay, this is the schedule for that. We're also going to have a fourth quarter promotion or incentive financially. Same thing we ended last quarter with the last week. You'll have an opportunity to earn an extra $200 for every 3 people who enroll as a consultant with the Healthy Edge stack, okay, or any other stack that's over 200 points or more. So be careful if you use a coupon, because if you use a coupon, it will knock the points down. So if you're using a coupon, and let's say it is the Healthy Edge stack and it's only 200 points, make sure you add another product to it. Okay, make sure, because the coupon will knock it down to 180. So it needs to be 200. And anyway, we were on a call, and I still call it a lead call, but it was executive Zoom. And there was somebody on there, I forgot her name, but she had gotten 17 of those. So she just missed 6 $200 bonuses. She ended up getting 5 of them. But that goes a long way, man. $200 is $200, and that's on top of the commission that you get for enrolling the person to begin with. It's an extra bonus, and it's going to run to December 31st from now to the end of the year. And it's retroactive, actually. It started October 1st. So anybody that's had, any consultants enroll. Now, April, the one catch with that, it's not a catch, but the one requirement, they have to be on a subscription too, right? And that has to happen at the time of the enrollment.
Yeah. Yeah, they need to be on subscription.
And that could just be pro tandem, right? It just could
Absolutely.
be.
Yep.
So the one thing with this is they have to be on subscription. It could be as little as a pro tandem, but when they enroll, they need to enroll with a subscription, moving forward. That is the requirement to be able to get the $200.
Can I give my take on
Yes.
Love Biome? I know you've heard me. I have a little bit different thought than the company. We've got 2.5 weeks till most people can have the product, except those that were in Dallas, we'll get a pack earlier. So, we've been pushing opportunity, and then the fallback being product. So, and I really think you need to serve people and give them what they're hoping, what they're praying for, what they're needing in their life. So we can't really be talking about a product that we don't even have our hands on. And if you look at all of social media for LifeVantage, everybody's going wild over this product, and they even put in links that say, if you want to be on my VIP list link. Well, any of you that have been around long enough know if the person is ready to purchase today and you don't get it done today, it most likely doesn't happen. Things happen. Somebody's mother gets sick, something goes on. So the way that I'm going to use this packet, and I'll be really honest, it could be a great product. They're not telling us heavy on benefits yet. I heard one gentleman's benefit testimony that I was a little bit excited about, but they haven't done a lot with testimonies or anything. So we're going to need to use the product. We're going to need to create our own testimonies. We're going to have to see what we think about the product and stuff. And so even Bobby and I think we're on it 3 days now. We're not on it terribly long. So there's no big testimony right now. So the way that I will use this package when it's ready, when I know it's shipping, is, to me, it's another option. I recruit as many men as I do women in this business. And so one of the areas when I'm talking to them and trying to figure out what they need, it might not be weight loss. Maybe they're already thin and they don't need to lose weight. So, the mind body may not be of interest to them. And then, I can go to collagen a lot of times with guys, and they're kind of like, oh, now we're getting feely touchy. I mean, this is just not me. And, one of my pet peeves is we've not had a Tri-Synergizer package. Wouldn't it be so cool to do Tri-Synergizer and Axio as a business package to get started? I don't know why that's such a problem, but that has been. But this fits that bill of being a health product that a guy could get excited about because of all the different benefits that we hear. And, I took a book out of the library yesterday, particularly on gut health, that somebody else recommended, because, maybe there's some benefits and things that I'm not thinking of, that I'm missing. So we're all should be doing a little bit of work on, especially if you're not up on it, but, Bobby and I by no means are up on it. So, wanting to know about this gut biome and stuff and exactly what it means. I hear that, when you get it straightened out, there can be some really great benefits. I hear weight loss, I hear clearer skin, and then people that already have, gut problems, leaky gut, diarrhea, all those different things can be resolved. So definitely a big need and a big place for a lot of people, but we're not there. So I say all that to not sell something we don't have. You can't even have it. You can't even get it to sample somebody till November 1st, unless you're in Dallas. And even then, you've got a week ahead of the November 1st. So, we're pushing heavy, or the company's pushing heavy on a product we don't have. So you can't sell something you don't have. I've heard stories over the years. It's like opening a hot dog truck without any hot dogs. Well, you can't sell what you want. We've all gone to a restaurant and ordered something and they're like, oh, we don't have that. It's just you can't do business with the things you don't have. So I would educate myself. I would get to know about the product. I would certainly get the product when I can. And then, like I said, this can be a great business package to be able to put in for, the men. I think we finally have something that the men can get excited about. And maybe we all just need to write letters to the company and say, we want Tri-Synergizer and Axio as a package. I mean, I don't know why that hasn't been, but, that's how I'm looking about this, because we have so many great products. When somebody comes back to me and they say, I don't like that Mind Body, or I don't like that collagen, or I don't like this, that's fine. We can still build a huge business because I got 19 other products you can use at this point. I got 19 other things you can get excited about. If you don't need to lose weight, that's fine. I got lots of testimonies of people that did lose weight, have gotten great results. You don't personally need to use it. So just keep that in mind as we're talking about, to people about our business opportunity and even about the products. If one doesn't work, we've got so many other options. But this is how I see this fitting in is, those 200 to 250, when people start at the lower levels, that's where that's going to fit in. So I hope that helps clarify. Don't get overly excited about something you can't sell today. So, Bobby.
And it makes sense. I mean, we don't want to forfeit the entire month of October waiting for November. And let's just say a lot of people haven't used it yet. So, it's another thing to just talk about. It's another thing to talk about. We can't not do business while we wait. And, it just makes perfect sense. So, anyway, if you didn't have this, this is the information for tomorrow night. Okay. So, if you're, it's from 6 to 8, but that's Mountain. The reason I put 8 to 10, obviously, a lot of us are on Eastern, but there's West Coast out there too. So you just adjust accordingly. And it's open to everybody. There is no password. Okay. So that's the web ID. When you put it in, you'll be in. I don't know how many spots they have, but I'm assuming there will be a lot on. So, okay. So if you don't have this, I posted it and April posted it, but this is the corrected invite for Tuesday night. So whoever was invited, for Monday, we have had to move it to Tuesday because we just didn't want to compete with the company call there and have people decide which way to go. So we're moving all of our guests over to Tuesday. So, if for some reason you didn't see this in Team Unity or in the Messenger thing, just let us know and we'll send it to you. Okay. But also, there has been no change. The second one we're doing after we get back from Dallas is October 29th, and that's the same. Okay, that hasn't changed. So that's the same. Okay, and then this, if you want to screenshot it, is for the training on Saturday. So it's called Activate Academy, and we've been invited to talk about it. And one of the things, we had talked to Holly about, and we told her that we were really focused on treating our opportunity as a product. That and in my mind, it's by far the best product we have. Everybody in the world has an opportunity to earn money with our business. How could that not be the best product we have? So anyway, she asked us to tell that, to talk about that. She feels everybody needed to hear that. So, and there'll be more than that. Okay. How to create new conversations, value. It'll be good. And it's a 90-minute training. Let's see, starts at 11 a.m. Eastern, and you got all the other times there. So it'll go from 11 to 12:30 if you're on the East Coast. Pacific starts at 8 and go from 8 to 9:30. So, April, anything you want to add to that?
No, the time on this is going to move around to accommodate the different time zones.
Depending on who's hosting too, right?
Yeah, I don't know that that's going to make a difference, but they want to include California. 9 o'clock for the East Coast, which is the first one, is 6 in the morning for California. So,
Yeah.
and I don't have a problem with that, but I guess they did. So, no, the one day you get to sleep in, right? So you just have to be careful of the times. They're going to move those times around so to accommodate everyone.
Okay, so I think that's it on the slides. So let me stop the share. Okay. There's a lot of stuff there. No, I mean it's the one thing, I was sharing this with Cheryl, and actually Cheryl, did you post that?
I did. She sent it to me, and I just put it
Okay.
up.
Okay. So there is that tonight? That's tonight, right?
Tonight, right after this. Yeah,
Like
9 o'clock.
like in
It's
a
9
half
o'clock.
hour, right?
Yeah.
At 9. Okay. So what they did is at 9 o'clock Eastern tonight, and the link is in the chat. They took some parts of what they trained us on this week, and they're playing it tonight. Okay, so there was Kelly, who is I guess, the CEO of Life Biome, and Steve Fife, who's the CEO here. There was a conversation between the two of them. They put some stuff together, and Valencia, I guess, is one of their top distributors, and she's going to be talking about the product and stuff. So if you just can't wait and I'm sure it's going to be repetitive with tomorrow. But if you just can't wait till tomorrow, then dial in tonight. When we get done, it's not 9 o'clock Eastern. But anyone got anything as far as questions or what's going on? I can't tell you enough how um, serious you should take what April said. Selling something that you haven't used and you don't have, and you're not going to have for at least 2 or 3 weeks, that's not smart. Okay, it's just not smart, because you get them all hot and bothered and excited, and they can't buy it, and they can't order it. So, there's nothing wrong with keeping a list of who's interested. Everybody should be doing that, but it's another active. I'm assuming it's an activation product, because Lisa Barnes says when she researched it, it works like an activation product, just like the ones we're used to. Okay, so when she had done the research on it, and I'm sure you'll hear from Lisa tomorrow, but you know, let's sell opportunity with all the great products we got, and let folks know that we're not done, and we're adding a gut product to it, and it'd be available, and just say it'd be available November 1st. You don't have to put yourself in a pickle, with it, and that's where you can start making a list. And it was funny. I just we've had the chance, because it was 6 hours of training. Um, and April and I, along with the Smolics, have been the number one recruiters for consultants in the company for the last 90 days. Okay. So we're telling you what we're doing and how it's working, and we're trying to get you to follow suit. Okay. We're talking business and money. Okay, we're talking opportunity. We're not leaving out the product. We're just making sure we get the money and opportunity in there. Okay, we're getting it in there. This is not in any way, shape, or form uh, being disrespectful or ignoring the amazing products that we have. Okay, that's not what we're doing. But our opportunity is more amazing than the products.
You know
And
what, and Bobby, it can be as simple as, if you've gotten into a product conversation, because a lot of times with women, and maybe some of the physicians we have on here, you're talking product, it's product based. A sentence just saying, have you ever thought about, maybe getting the product for free, or making a little money, or maybe even some more? It's all our posture and how we approach these things. It's the energy. If our thoughts are we just want them to buy our product, it's not going to happen. If we're giving them what's best for them, and what's best for them is that they get on the product, but they also make money, at least get it for free. at that point, and so many people, today it's kind of sad because self-esteem is at an all-time low. I take a lot of analogies from even playing tennis, and we play tennis and pickleball, and so often we're playing a lot of USTA. So I play against people I don't know, and it's a good, strong level. So you really have to be, it's more of a mind game than it is even tennis, I think, sometimes at this point. But you're warming up with somebody, you're starting to play those early games, and she hits a shot and it's a really, really good shot. And so you're like, did that go off the strings? Did that go off the frame? What is that? Is that in her wheelhouse? Is that her shot? And then she'll say, oh, I'm so sorry. I'm just so lucky. I'm the luckiest person in the world. Well, now I know it's not her shot. I mean, it's just, these are the things that we do. We give up stuff that people say they're new at this. They only want me. If you're giving off those vibes, they only want me to buy their product. It has to be really always about them. It has to get back to them. You have to be servicing them, giving them what they need. And then they'll have that positive where they come after you. So if you get a lot of people that come up to you and you get to a no, or you get to a maybe, or down the road, it's because you're in that selling zone. You're not really trying to find out how you can help them at best. But some of those little lines, like, I might have something that'll help you. And you've heard me say that a million times. And, you could be talking about the product and just say, hey, would you be interested? These little lines in a conversation where they do most of the talking are huge, and they will get you a lot further than you trying to even just sell the benefits of the products. Don't sell the benefits of the products. Talk about their one need for the product, not like all of them. Like with this, P84, we could be all over the place with the number of different benefits, from skin to stomach problems to weight loss. We could be all over. But instead of telling them all those benefits, find out which benefit interests them most and then go from there. So a lot of it's our energy. It's how positive we're going to be. They want our product, and we have to be throwing off that you need this product. This product is the best product. And at some level, we all know it, but we don't. I don't know, when we get into the conversation, and I hear people almost apologize for different things, just like that girl would apologize for a shot that was a great shot, but I didn't know if it was a shot that she had or not at that point until she apologizes. So, just be careful of your verbiage. Early on, our mentor, who was a really good mentor to us, did things, and these sound silly, but I think we almost have to get back to the way we were years ago. The early years worked a lot better, particularly as we get in person to person or do more on a Zoom. Either record yourself with your phone, your conversation, because I can tell you, even at this point, when I'm in a conversation with somebody and getting, to get them to close or buy product or whatever, there's always a time where every once in a while I'm not quite paying attention, and I'll say something, I'm saying, stupid, why did you say that? I just opened up a rabbit hole I shouldn't have done. So you can start to tune yourself to not say those things, because everybody doesn't need to know everything. They only need to know what they asked. Okay, that's important. They only need to know what they asked. They don't need to know everything. And too often we try to give them 33 years of experience, both product and opportunity, on a 40-minute phone call, and now they don't have time to do anything when they get off the call, and you don't have time to do, and you can't get that many calls in. So, like I said, if they don't ask it, don't answer it. So anyway, I'm sorry, Bobby, back to you.
No, it's great information, and it's true. I sent out, somebody got a good screenshot of the Zoom that we're on this week, and they added some blurbs to it. And I said, I bet this will get some people's attention. And I sent it out to maybe 15 people that I had been talking to at various times over the last couple months. Do you realize the 3 of them booked calls with me for tomorrow and Tuesday just from a picture that I sent them? But the picture was freaking exciting. Okay, the picture was, 50 excited people listening to what was going on with LifeVantage and what new things were coming down the road. And these were people I had already talked to. They knew what I was doing. I hadn't been able to close them, but they were still in the prospecting funnel. And 3 of them booked call. One I was talking to 5 minutes before I got on this, and he's enrolling tomorrow. I said, I hate to cut, his name is Don. I hate to cut you off, Don. I know you're ready to sign up. Can we handle that tomorrow? I got to do a Zoom with my team tonight. And that was it. So, people, April talks posture and energy and excitement. It's the most important thing you could have. And we were going back and forth, and he says, he says that product, though, I know a ton of people who need that oxidative thing you got. He didn't remember oxidative stress. He didn't remember protandim, but he said that oxidative thing you got, and I'm like, oh, you mean all protein? Yeah, that's it. He says, man, I know everybody needs that. He says, I even have people who had that C word thing go on. And I'm like, yeah, there's a lot of people that really, really would benefit from that. I said, by the way, that is what launched this company 16 years ago, was that product. And we've used that science to add other things since then. But you picked a winner if you're going to start with that one. And so anyway, anyone got any questions or anything else? It's a lot, man. Don't get zoomed out, folks. Like, I know tomorrow, there's 1.5 hour, there's one for 2 hours tomorrow, but you don't earn money tonight or tomorrow. You earn money Tuesday night. Okay. And we're in this business to earn money. And we will add a blurb of the exciting news. As a matter of fact, I'll probably put that picture in that I was talking about into the slides to just, how they say a picture speaks 1,000 words. Okay, that picture does speak 1,000 words. And, we'll mention it, but if you're limited on time, you make sure that you have people on that opportunity Zoom Tuesday night, because that's how you earn money. Okay. And if you got to pick and choose where to get your hour or two from, tomorrow night will be recorded. Okay. And if you need to use tomorrow night to get people invited to be on Tuesday night, you do that. Okay. And then you can watch it on Tuesday. We can't buy or sell the product now anyway. So watching it on Tuesday or Wednesday will not hurt you one bit, because we can't do anything in the meantime. So, hey, Fred, you got your hand raised. Go ahead, buddy.
Yeah, I just wanted, we had a Canada call on Wednesday and some great news for us Canadians, and, talking about having a product in market. Well, November 17th, Alexis announced that we have MindBody in market. So we have been buying it on the not for resale site. We're paying American dollars, taxes, Canadian taxes, right? So it's, so it hasn't been convenient, but we still have been using it. But now it's going to be in market November 17th. So we're super excited. Someone can buy it up to
That's
November.
A big score. Congrats.
Oh, having it in market, and it's the international formula. So super excited. So anybody, and for all the Americans that have Canadian customers or Canadian people, now it's because it just simplifies it. I get calls all the time from American distributors. You guys don't have MindBody? How do they get it? And, like cross-line people, and I help them out. And then also, Alexis announced that we have two, the Momentum Academies in Canada, two smaller ones. So one's going to be in Calgary November 15th. So for folks that can't travel across the border or whatever, one's in Calgary November 15th and one's November 22nd in Toronto. Of course, Shirley and I are going to Dallas. We'll be there, and we'll be at the one in Toronto as well on November 22nd. So just a couple of extra announcements. And
so
thanks for
anyone on here that has connections in Canada, make sure if you haven't met Fred and Shirley, make sure you look for them in Dallas. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Anyone else? Anything?
Ira's unmuted.
Ira, you're muted. Go ahead. Unmute, buddy.
Okay. Just a quick thing. The link for tomorrow's training, it has 11 digits as opposed to 10. Is that still valid for Zoom?
I don't know. It's just a copy and paste.
That's the company's thing. So I guess it is.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the kind we didn't make that. We just took it from corporate. So, um, they're closed
I'll
now.
double check
You
it,
can
but it
double
looks
check
the
that in the
same as what
morning.
Cheryl texted me, which I took off the chat too. So they look
Okay.
exactly the same.
Okay.
Not that they've never been wrong with the Zoom link, but if you look at the one, oh yeah, I see about two. I don't know. I can check on it. We'll check on it.
Thank you.
Good call. Solve the problem early.
But there is
Bobby,
no password. We know that for a fact. There's no password.
you know what, Bobby, I was thinking about maybe you can share that photo and people can use that to get people also on the Zoom for Tuesday night.
So share what photo?
The one that you said that
The
you
one
were,
I sent out?
yeah, because it's another drip point and people like pictures better than words anyway. So I think it might go a long way.
Well, you keep talking and let me.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, anything, this is where the creative side comes in. Anything you can use that you have, that was very smart of him to be able to send that out to get people talking again, because, part of our problem in this very busy world is staying in front of people and, saying, hey, remember me? You were interested and then you went away. And so we always got to figure out creative ways to get people, back in the fold so that we can share what we're sharing with them. So I think this, I'm not sure what photo he's talking about, but it may be a way that you can send out to people and let them know that this is going on Tuesday night, or maybe use it as a reminder going in, sometime during Tuesday. We'll see what it looks like and stuff, but anything we can use to share is important.
I've never dropped a picture, and can I just drop it in?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, because I haven't
Just
done
drag it and put it in the message.
Okay. This is the perfect curiosity thing, to pique people's curiosity. Let's see, unable to send file due to
You can just do a share, a screen share, and we can take a screenshot of it.
You know what? I'll do that. Let's see. Yeah, let me do that, and then I will post it everywhere so you can get the file as soon as we
Yeah.
as soon as we hang up. So let me do that.
What about putting it in the collagen pics?
Yeah, well, I'll post it everywhere where you can.
Yeah, just so you all know, I haven't been using Collagen Pics as much. Obviously, Bobby still kicked off Facebook, but it seems if I post something like LifeVantage, we get something else weird in there. I mean, it's exhausting the things people think to put in there. It's like,
Okay, can you see it?
yes.
Take a screenshot of that, but I'll post the file. But it says today's call felt different. The CEO, CSO, VP, sales directors, and 60 of the top leaders in our company. So you can just tell how everyone's excited by that. But we're not just talking about growth with this new acquisition and gut health activation. We're building the next billion-dollar breakthrough. Well,
Nice.
it got three people to. Now these are people I already spoke to, so it got them back in the loop, is what it did. But I'll post this in the regular places so that you can use it. Okay.
Yeah, good thought. Yeah, we got to share all this stuff. So, and if you come across, Cheryl, or somebody, a great place to be posting the before and afters. I've just struggled with. We don't have an admin in that Collagen Pics anymore since Bobby's off Facebook.
What happened with Collagen Pics when Facebook deleted me? I was the only administrator at the time, so there's no administrator, and it's really hard to deal with. So, anyway, it is what it is. So, we good? So remember, don't get zoomed out. Try and focus on things that pay you money and build your business. And if it means waiting a day to see what tomorrow night is so that you can use your time to invite for Tuesday, then just shuffle it around a little bit. And then Saturday morning, join us if you get a chance. I know that's 11 o'clock Saturday morning on the East Coast. Most people are out doing what they're doing, okay? But you can always call in from your phone, so, and hear it if you don't see it. So, we good?
Good.
All right. Have a good night, everyone, and thanks for your time. We appreciate it. God bless.
Great,
Bye-bye.
great training tonight. Thank you.
Good night.
Thanks, Bob.